Before we dig into this episode, I want you to know that these B58 8HP50 E46 brackets will be available for pre-order on my website starting in mid-September for delivery in late October, early November timeframe, depending on my supplier. These will be production value versions. This will be a lower introductory price for pre-order. Price will be going up in early October, guys. So please order now if you want to get your spot for this very highly anticipated set of brackets. So now let's get right on into how we made them. So we took the B58 out because we need to reinstall it without this heat exchanger. This heat exchanger clearly hits this steering rack. I got it. Nice. We are going to be putting right angle on these guys just to make sure that they can clear a steering rack, of course, but we want to get the engine back in. So let's do that right now. Lower that jack.
Okay.
And it's on its own. Okay, so now that this thing is going back up in the air, we have the engine and the transmission kind of just sitting in place. It's sitting on the subframe and it's sitting on some janky transmission bracket. We need to use the tools that we have to get the engine and the whole driveline in the exact position that we want it, so we can start welding our brackets from the chassis side to the engine side and do the same thing on the transmission. I made sure that the engine and the whole drive line was in the right orientation in all three axes: front, back, side to side, top, bottom, and of course, you got to make sure that the tilting is level and all that. So that there's a very specific location that we want this drive line to be located at, such that everything will work, that there'll be no interferences, and that there's still adequate engine movement for this thing to sit correctly. So we've got these two that need to line up with this hole. We're gonna move the engine just forward a tad in order to make that alignment, but then we're gonna be utilizing these two bolts here on this side, and on this side, you can see we're gonna be utilizing those two bolts. We're gonna be making this a 4-bolt setup on the transmission because we just feel like this thing needs to be a lot beefier than what we've done in the past for the N50X. Something I wanted to note in regards to engine position that's so important is the drive shaft. It's important depending on the kind of drive shaft that you use. In this case, what we've got this installed here is to exaggerate the longitudinal alignment of the drive line with respect to the chassis. And I think that we've achieved that objective here by making small, minute changes in the engine position. It actually accentuates and it's exaggerated on the end of the drive shaft to show how much a tiny movement in one direction can affect the entire driveline alignment. Okay, so we've got a solution for both sides. This is great. So let me turn the light on here. So you can see here that I've got the motor mount here and the bracket that comes up and around. And let me see if I can get a better view of it. There we go. So you can see how this bracket is actually the E30 bracket. And I changed the bend lines, the bend angles, and it sits literally right on the front here. And it's gonna sit there, and that's where the main weld is gonna be. And it clears the steering rack just fine. No problems there. And I'm going to be making a plate that covers from here up and over, and it's gonna be bolting onto, it's gonna be bolted, or it's gonna be welded to this piece as well. So this whole thing is gonna, what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna weld right here, and then I'm going to take it out, and then I'm gonna weld it at my leisure on the bench. I think it's gonna be a lot easier. Over here is just as simple. So what we did was, we've got one piece here of the 1/4-inch steel. It's bent, right? It kind of looks like that. And it is butted right up against here right now. And we're gonna be gusseting this all underneath. We're gonna have 2 gussets, one on this side here, and then one on the back side, which is right here. So this guy here is gonna be gusseted over here. So kind of gusseted like this, along this edge, up into the bend, and on the back side as well. So that's gonna allow for a really clear opportunity for getting down and sneaking into their 5-inch line that's gonna come down and into your downpipe. Okay, so I wanna weld these up. And by weld them up, I mean just weld up that seam. Get a couple of really good strong tacks in there, and then I can unbolt this thing, make sure it's rigid, and then I can start welding in my gussets and designing that. Same thing for this side. Kind of a little bit harder to see, but you can see there that I've got my bracket that bolts onto the motor mount and it goes directly onto the block. It's sitting nice and snug on there. So all I have to do is just add a couple of really nice tacks. This is a prototype. I'm just mocking it up. Neither the engine nor the chassis is moving at all. So I can take things out, I can put things back as long as I don't move a thing. Not bad, huh? A little bit more complex because it's got the offsets there, the standoffs there. And that's how this puppy is gonna sit, just like that. So this one here is gonna take a little bit longer. I've got a, take a look at this B-roll here of the, mocking this up to the transmission and to the chassis. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, and you gotta make sure your bends are right, but this is gonna be an iterative process for this for sure. The engine brackets are a little bit easier. All right, so our first installation doesn't look too bad. This is 2 pieces of 1/4-inch steel. And we've got one piece up here where that guy is sitting upon. This one here is bent and it's sitting on that. These 2 pieces are allowing for the offset here. There's a little bit of a 1/4-inch offset in the frame. So this actually sits nicely. We get the 4-bolt design. It's really, really stout as it is right now, but we're gonna add a little bit more to this just to finish off this prototype. As you can see, that drive shaft is sitting really high up into this tunnel. And that's because, I wanted to give myself another 1/4 inch higher than I needed so that when the weight of the engine and transmission come down, it's going to settle right where I want it. And usually about a 1/4 inch for these rubber bushings is most appropriate. You go with a solid mount design and it'll basically stay where it is. So, that's kind of the plan. All right, welded up these 2 gusseted members here, and this is now an official 5-piece design. It is very strong. It is quite heavy, so I need to design holes and some nice aesthetic aspects to this, but I think that this bracket is gonna really be nice. I'm very excited about how this is gonna look. So now we're gonna move on to the engine brackets and finish those up, and this thing is now gonna be sitting on its own weight very soon. All right, so we've got our 3-piece bracket set installed, the driver, the passenger, and the 8 HP transmission bracket, which is part of the kit. Now, we wanna put it down on its own weight and see how it all sits, see where there's any interferences. So let's do that. Okay, good. Ready? Oh yeah, transmission didn't even move at all. This is nice. Oh wow, okay. This thing is now completely being suspended. It looks like it's got a little bit of an interference on the steering rack right here. All right, before you want to do the installation, you want to definitely make sure that this guy gets smoothed down, particularly in this area right here. Seems to be where the interference is. So let's do that. And just like that, you can see I took off a little bit. Don't really need to take off too much with these mounts. It's actually pretty self-sufficient and positions the engine high enough. But that's really all you need just to get the clearance. And that, actually, it's not, technically that's not touching. You getting that, Dan? Yeah. You see it? It's technically not touching, actually. But I think that that's something that would need to be accounted for when you do this swap, is that it does need to be shaved on the E46 side. Everything else on the driver's side looks good. The passenger side, clearances are all there. Nothing on the back. This is all sitting nice. Looks like the oil pan. Get a load of the oil pan here. This oil pan to subframe clearance looks really good. Back over here, looks like everything is sitting on its own. You can see I'm pushing it up just a tiny bit. Everything is resting nice and flat and straight. Now let's take a look at the drive shaft. How does the drive shaft look? So what you want with the drive shaft is you want it to kind of like be smack in the center. That suggests that you've got a really good alignment on your guibo and not a lot of stress on there. At every rotation, you're gonna have compression and tension, but that's not the case here. We've got a really nice center drive shaft, which is gonna go directly out to the diff. Now we wanna take some measurements of the drive shaft length, and then we're gonna take this thing out and put the manual transmission in and see how that thing bolts on. So while I confirm that this thing physically fits, the starter is in the right location, the bell housing is correct, this is a GS617HG. This cannot handle any more than like 400 foot-pounds of torque, which is basically stock out of the box with this thing. So you're always gonna be pushing this transmission to the limit. It's a lot smaller, it's visibly smaller, it's lighter, it's not gonna handle the power, and therefore I've decided not to install this onto this engine and integrate a transmission bracket. It just doesn't seem like anybody is gonna want this, and even if they did, they'd break it. They'd break the transmission right off the bat. I think I really need a 45 BZ, which is incredibly rare, hard to find. At that point, you're working on transmission adapter plates to adapt T56s or TR6060s, Magnum transmissions, all that other stuff, anything else, even a GS653 BZ you can fit onto this with a transmission adapter plate. So having said that, I've decided not to install this or try to integrate it. We're gonna go straight over to the B58.